Hey everybody, this is Lamika McGee, and I am the CEO and founder of Janae Sante LLC, where I am a career coach and a youth mentor. And so welcome back to another installment of the leadership series for new supervisors. I hope you guys enjoyed the first 3 videos that we went through together in regards to learning your leadership communication style. And so if you have not looked at that or seen those videos, please go back and look at those videos and then come back and join us for this one. Okay, so for today, this might be a couple of parts. I haven't really quite decided how I want to do this, so it depends on how far I get. But we're going to talk about effective leadership skills, okay? Effective leadership skills. It's imperative that as a supervisor that you build your leadership skills. So like we talked in the previous videos, now that you know what your communication skills are, now you have to discover what your leadership skills are. And so we're just building on top of each topic, right? And so in order to determine that, there are a few traits that are out there that you should have. There are a few characteristics in these skills that you should have. There are a few qualities that I think that you should have. And so we're gonna walk through a couple of these today, and then there might be a part 2 to this video because there is a lot to cover and I wanna make sure that I give you everything. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I have my trusty notes so I don't forget anything. And so just to give you a basic definition of leadership. So leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Most of us know that, right? So then the difference is effective leadership is a leader exhibiting strong character, honesty, integrity, trustworthiness, and ethics. This type of a leader acts in line with how they speak, and they have the right to be responsible for others' success, or they earn the right to be responsible for others' success, and they possess clear communication skills. So again, go check out the communication skills videos, and then come back and check out these leadership qualities and traits, right? Okay, so some qualities that leaders should have: they should be selfless, they should have courage, they should have compassion, passion, confidence. They should have commitment. They should be ambitious, okay? They should nurture the strengths and the talents of their people, and they should build their teams to achieve common goals. So I want to talk about a few of these particular qualities. So being selfless, right? As a leader, one of the things that was kind of hard for me to grasp and understand was that being a leader means that it's no longer about me. And, you know, that was kind of a hard pill to swallow, being honest, because everything was always about me. I mean, I, live my life. A lot of the things that I do are about me. Because I don't have a family to come home to in the evening. So because of that, I'm always like, hey, I lead myself. And so when I became a leader over people, I had to realize that, okay, now that I have earned the right to lead other people because of my own work ethic and the traits and the qualities that my leadership saw in me, I now have to take a back seat and ensure that I am basically putting my employees at the forefront and making myself come to the back, right? And so that can be a little bit hard to do if you are used to only being about you. And not to say that you're selfish, but it can become selfishness. But if you're only used to being about you, even if you have a family and kids and things like that, and you're always so focused on them, and then you get to the office and now you got to always be focused on your employees, that can kind of be a hard pill to swallow. But in the end, when you manage to do that, it's so rewarding, especially when like this other quality, leveraging and nurturing the strengths and talents of your people. When you actually are in this kind of mentoring phase where your employees are coming to you for advice and guidance and trying to figure out what to do in certain situations with other employees or whatnot, and you're able to help navigate those situations for them, and then you see how like the light bulb goes off in their mind and they're like, oh, I never thought about it that way, or oh, you're right, I should address it that way, or wow, I didn't know that that was how that is. When that light bulb goes off for them, then you're like, yeah, I did that. Because you realize that you put yourself to the back and you consider the needs of your employees before your own, okay? So I think being selfless as a leader is one that's extremely, extremely important, and then leveraging the strengths and talents of your people. One of the things that I like to try to do is watch my employees for a little bit when they're new, when they're coming on board, and then I actually see what their strengths are. And then I leverage those strengths. So for example, I have a current employee now who she likes to sit in the background. Like her thing is, I'm gonna be in the background, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna do my job, whatever you say, Lamika, and then I'm gonna ask my questions and then I'll roll it out at the end of the day. But what she didn't realize is that I was watching her work ethic, I was watching how she navigated particular situations. Her and I would have normal conversation, I would hear the things that she would say, and I thought to myself, this girl is a leader. Like, you know, she might be an assistant now, but she is a natural born leader. And what do I need to do to try to leverage the fact that I see leadership traits in her? And so, you know, undercutly, I started putting her in charge of things like, hey, I want you to lead this meeting today with senior management. Hey, you know, we have an intern. I want you to kind of, you know, take on a little bit of a leadership role with the intern and see how that goes for you. Give some of your work to her and then supervise her with that work. And then come back and let me know what you think. You know, and we had a conversation and she was just like, oh my gosh, you know, me being in this leadership role or this kind of supervisory role is interesting. Like I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff about me. And then she went to a training, came back from the training, they took a personality or a work assessment test at the training, and come to find out her assessment says that she's a leader. So, and she was shocked because she's like, I never thought that I was a leader. And I'm like, oh, now you want to listen to me. Like I told you were a leader and I've been navigating you that way. And so when she finally realized it and then saw it in an assessment, it made so much more sense to her. And so I said all that to say, you have to be observant of your people. It's not enough to just come and, hey, everybody, okay, let's have a team meeting. You do this, you do this, and then you go retreat to your office as a supervisor, and then that's it. That's not it. You have to actually watch your people to see what they are strong in, and then you leverage those strengths and you push them that way. And then even when you're looking at their weaknesses or things that areas that they need to improve in, then you give them things along those lines to slowly help them improve. And when you see how they grow as employees, then you know you've done your job as a leader. And so I think that's something that's very, very important. And another point that leaders should do is demonstrate leadership. You know, a lot of times there are some people who become leaders or supervisors or whatnot, and they automatically go into dictatorship land. Like, you gotta do what I say because I'm your boss. And it's like, yes, to an extent, the employees have to do what you say because you are the boss, but there is no reason why you should be and, you know, dictating every single thing that they're doing, because what that will do is stifle employees, and that will make them feel like they're not worth it on the job, and it will make them feel like you don't trust them enough to do their job the right way if you're dictating to them every single aspect of their position. And so ways to demonstrate effective leadership is, number one, you should lead by example. The same way that you wanted to be treated as an employee before becoming a supervisor is the same way you should treat your employees when you become a supervisor. For me, I am not a micromanager type supervisor at all. I like to look at what my people are strong in, give them instructions, and then let them go. I don't, badger them. I'm not standing over their shoulder like, hey, where's this? I'm not sending them 1,000 emails today trying to get a status update about an email that I sent them 5 minutes ago. Like, I don't do that at all, because I like to give my employees the space to develop and the space to grow, and for them to also feel like that what they're working on or what their portfolio is theirs, that they have a sense of ownership. And that's the way that I like to operate, with having supervisors above me. Like, you tell me what you need done, I'm gonna get it done. I don't need you to stand over my shoulder. And once people realize that, they're like, oh, well, Like my boss now, he'll give me a task at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then that'll be it. I won't hear from him no more on that same task, because he knows that he's going to get an answer from me within that day. It might not be by 9:05, it might be by 3:05, but he's still going to get an answer. So when you allow people to just naturally do them, and then you work on their strengths and their weaknesses, it works out. So lead by example. Number 2, talk less, listen more. That goes back to being selfless. It's not about you anymore. So allow your employees to feel comfortable enough with you to come talk to you about their lives, to come talk to you about any gripes or complaints or issues they're receiving on the job. Just provide that open space for them to be able to feel free and know that they're not going to have any type of retribution, or something negative isn't going to show up in their performance evaluation because they had a conversation with you, right? So give them that space to be able to be them, okay? So talk less, listen more to the things that they have to say. Number 3, don't play favorites, okay? And I'm pretty sure that could probably be hard, because you might connect with some of your employees more than others of your employees. But don't play favorites. Still be fair across the board, and allow all of your employees to see that you are fair across the board, right? With my employees, I talk to all of them. I go and sit at their desks and I talk to all of them. I'll sit with one, have a full-fledged conversation, go get some work done, then I'll go sit with another one and have a full-fledged conversation. Why? Because I don't want them to think that she favors one person more than the other, or she gives this person more work because she feels like that they can handle it, but she doesn't feel like I can handle it. Don't play favorites. That will be detrimental to your team. Okay? And then number 4, do your fair share. Do your fair share. It's not enough to just throw work on your employees because you're like, I'm delegating. You can delegate, that's fine, where you need to delegate, but don't delegate so much that to your employees it looks like you're not doing any work. Be willing to jump in the weeds with them. One of my employees, she handles the recruiting and staffing portfolio. She schedules interviews. I also hop in and I schedule interviews. I also hop in and escort contractors. I also hop in and approve travel and approve time, and all the things that my employees do, I also hop in and do them. So they see that, okay, Lamika isn't just telling us what to do, but she's actually willing to get in here and do the work with us. And that, when you do that, that builds more trust, and that builds more of a team. And so they'll feel more comfortable being like, oh, well, hey, whatever it is that she needs, I'll just go ahead and do it because I know that she's in this with us. And that's what I love about my employees now, because they're exactly like that. Because I've built this with the team, all I have to do is say, hey, can somebody do? And they're jumping. I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Because they know at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, Lamika gonna get in here and be crawling in the dirt with us, okay? And then number 5, be yourself. Be yourself. You don't have to be anybody but sorry y'all, you don't have to be anybody but who you are. Be yourself, who you naturally are as a person, be that. But just ensure that, you're personable. In a future video, we're going to talk about what open door policy really means. And that's one of the things. Be personable, have an open door policy, providing that comfortability to your employees, showing them who you are as a person, so that it doesn't just seem like you're sitting up here and they're sitting down here, and you're up here and they're the little people and you're just telling them what to do. Like, no, be yourself, be naturally who you are, and they will gravitate to that, okay? And then number 6, take responsibility. So take responsibility for your actions, but then you also have to take responsibility for their actions. There are times where I've made mistakes in front of my employees, and I would just say, I'm sorry, y'all, that was a mistake, but we're gonna fix it and come back. And they always appreciate that more. And they come to me now and they're like, hey, Lamika, sorry, don't be mad, I made a mistake. And I'm like, y'all good? We all make mistakes, it's okay. So as long as you take responsibility for your actions, then things will pretty much be smooth sailing from there. And then the last one is developing your leadership skills. So watching my videos, reading articles, reading books about leadership, getting mentored by somebody on your job that's at a higher level than you. Anything that you need to do to help you develop in your leadership skills, you should do that. Because if you're going to be a supervisor for any length of time, You don't just arrive when you become a supervisor. You still have to learn and grow in yourself so that you can continue to be better for yourself and better for your people, okay? And so I am going to stop the video here because I still have a whole lot more to go, y'all. Like there's more notes, but I'm gonna stop the video here and I'm gonna make a part 2, okay, for effective leadership. So I hope that you learned something with that. So ensure that you have good qualities for effective leadership, meaning you have honesty, integrity, trustworthiness, and ethics. And then other qualities, you're selfless, you're courageous, you have compassion, confidence, commitment, and ambition, and you nurture your employees' strengths and weaknesses. And then lastly, to demonstrate effective leadership, you should lead by example, talk less, listen more, don't play favorites, do your fair share, be yourself, take responsibility, and develop in your leadership skills. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please come back for part 2 of effective leadership. You can follow me on social media at Janae Sante LLC on Facebook. You can follow me at Janae Sante on Instagram. You can hit up my website at www.myjscoaching.com. If you are a new supervisor who is within your first 6 months to a year and you would like somebody to personally walk through with you how to navigate being a great leader and to even personally walk through with you on how to deal with situations that do arise with your current employees, you can reach out to me at info@myjscoaching.com, and I would love to be your mentor to walk through with you in your first year of supervision. And so thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day, leaders.